Can the RNC rely on you to help make America great again with a small donation?
Yeah, they can rely on a small donation of these nuts, because they got that money already cut.
I work myself back up, out and off of the walls of that side hustle shuffle. Nothing too bad, stuck, but it sucks when the shutdown comes from shit that we're all above. You asked me to join, and the first thing that the worker in me did was talk money to ensure our pay. I told you that those screens were good enough for you, but their light was glowing gray. I had been misused, but as far as I'm concerned, that choice to continue a cycle of abuse, despite all that Joe and I did to raise issues and push the ones that diffuse, was evil. I called an ideological truce and quit listening out loud to things that others wouldn't choose or wouldn't mind if they heard my laughter combined with my dudes. There are things that I consider unpaid burdens for myself and the old ragtag skeleton crew. Plenty of worthy enough candidates, at least you say, until I finally withdrew. Get with the finance, it wasn't us running it into the ground. Corporate line toting is another form of abuse. When the drain is what this has always been about, not a drain that can drown. You waste my time with that clock, treat me like a puppet abused in a sock. So like I told Donald, be Geppetto and fuck them off. You're the binding person on the reality of a whole lot of what's, what ifs, who's done it, yeah. And I get pushed to the brink like I was made of Lincoln logs, but my mind and body was the link to it all, and I cannot be labeled a lost cause on this, that, or the other. No, not now, not since I was released on that track about my brother. Not that I could have made a life any easier or harder with the way that I do it nowadays, but once again, it would be riding a wave, and I can't be part of that if I want to stump on some old shit and look brave for my crowd. That is why I return to my pit box and act like I got the things that rock, even though that I know all of these songs that I drop kind of fucking suck. And it gets me loose in my socks when I start thinking about all of the rhymes that I could have had if I would have just dropped and jotted at the right times when I was on that job. Not that I couldn't, just that it would be hard to be a functioning member of society, sitting where I'm supposed to be attentive ever so quietly. But truthfully, I got tired of missing out, switching pots, but the piss keeps slipping out. The shit I have made is echo chambers hissing out. Miss me now. The sound gets loud, putting the system on the fritz, while the entire thing is needed to rinse. Threading the needle, not his son, but I've been anointed the prince. Through the oil and the rigs, the pens, and what I do in the face of sin. Violent or passive, smack the fat off the back of the red-headed stepchild, then run it back on back-to-backs with bitches whose webs done spit oil hotter than fire. Curb your desire, don't it, to call it rotten, when we need to see what you brought and how you bought in. That ain't to be prejudiced, but we cannot weigh our options, so we have to see where you have stock in. That's all a Wall Street place where they are more likely to kill and rob for their option. Just don't let the feds know whose deeds the county clerk had bought in. Whoops, I said the words, now the turf they're not gonna defend. Who cares how I'm trying to follow the snare pattern back to some better options that they didn't find because the Cold War was hot and they were just not launching. Staunchly on the right, but don't at all see them as right in terms of correct or in the sense of being right. And I guess that's just my plight. This is America Part 2. This is my life.